Another live Black History Month, and I'm not going to show you Black History Month that others will show you. I'm going to show you rarities. This one fits under that umbrella. Rarities of the genre. This is Black Square and Compass. I'm having trouble with the lighting because of the window. Black Square and Compass, 200 Years of Prince Hall Freemasonry by Joseph A. Walks, Jr. Black Square and Compass. Let me open a little bit of light. There we go. Black Square and Compass. Black Square and Compass, 200 Years of Prince Hall Freemasonry is written by a Black Freemason from a Black Freemason's viewpoint. No white author could approach the subject with the same feeling. Mr. Walks spent years of research before arriving at and presenting his views. He gives many verbatim writings as well as reproductions of letters, papers, certificates, etc. While some, both black and white, may not agree with all of the author's presentations, it must be recognized. It must be that he has done his homework, and his homework well, since the real purpose of Freemasonry is to make good men better. If we approach the entire subject of Prince Hall Freemasonry with an open mind, we will be the richer for reading how and why and what the Black Freemason thinks. And this is the beginning for a better understanding among all mankind. It is with pleasure that we can offer this book. Joseph A. Walks, Jr. was born in New York City on November 12, 1933. To Unitha Lawrence Walks and Joseph A. Walks, who had come from St. Lucia, WI, in the Canal Zone, respectively. His grandfather, Cyril C. Walks, was born in Barbados. Is that the Virgin Islands? West Indies, okay. He attended schools in New York and in 1979 was graduated from Park College, Parkville, Missouri. That can't be right. 1979? What year was this book written? Maybe it is later than I think it is. 1981, okay. Was graduated from Park College, Parkville, Missouri, with a BA degree in Criminal Justice Administration. He served in the U.S. Army from 1961 to 73, when he retired and became admin assistant U.S. Penitentiary, Leavenworth, Kansas, which position he still holds. Mr. Walks was made a Master Mason on October 15, 1965 in Cecil A. Ellis Senior Lodge, number 110. Karlsruhe, Germany, under the jurisdiction of the M.W. Prince Hall Grand Lodge of M.D. He was master from 1966 to 67 and currently holds membership in King Solomon Lodge, none of which means anything to me. But here he is, writing about the Black Square and Compass. Joseph A. Walks, Jr., 33rd degree Mason. Wonder if he's still alive. I don't know if he's still alive, bruv. Let's see what he has to say in his foreword. I've been quite elated over the reception of the first edition of my book. The first edition was printed in a limited supply and was exhausted in a short period. For the most part, the feedback received from those that read the book were quite positive. The one noticeable exception being from a well-known Masonic book reviewer whose reviews are carried in a number of Caucasian Masonic publications. After reading my book, he refused to review it, and I was informed that he found the work to be militant. Here again is another case of the abuse that Prince Hall Freemasonry endures at the hands of its counterparts. Why is it that a black man writes or says something and a Caucasian takes exceptions to it, and without saying why, declares it as militant? I wonder what right has a so-called Masonic book reviewer to decide merely because he does not like a work to ignore it. Such people do more harm to the Masonic fraternity than those who would burn books. Another criticism received was from a retired lieutenant colonel from Texas, a Caucasian Freemason, who accused me of preaching a Black Power Masonry. To such criticism, I must answer that my book was written to present some of the Masonic roots of Prince Hall Freemasonry and the history of those who represent the power and glory of our fraternity. If that be militant and Black Power, then so be it. But only a fool would use such words. Masonic history cannot be defined in those terms. One area not covered and deliberately left out is the argument over the regularity of Prince Hall Freemasonry. This debate has been raging for 200 years and is senseless. Prince Hall Freemasonry is a reality. It has been a reality for 200 years, and it shall remain a reality as long as Freemasonry exists in the United States of America. Those who call it irregular or clandestine or non-Masonic are either blind or fools or worse, racist. When one compares the descent and doctrine of Prince Hall Freemasonry with its Caucasian counterparts, one will find very little difference. Throughout my book, I have leveled criticism at those who continue to stick their heads in the sands and those who think they can write about the Black experience in America without knowledge of that Black experience. Given the multicultural nature of American society, we must be extremely cautious in interpreting the experiences of Black people in this country. American society encompasses a variety of systems of cultural definition, some of which are fundamentally different in nature. Within the socio-cultural context, one must be cautious not to use the framework of experiences of one racial culture group to interpret and explain the experience of another. Joseph A. Baldwin, The Journal of Black Psychology, February 1979, Volume 5. Finally, this book was dedicated to two Prince Hall Freemasons, whom I held in the highest regards as men and Masons. At the time of the final publication of Black Square and Compass, death claimed the life of perhaps the greatest Prince Hall Freemason who has ever lived, Dr. John G. Lewis, Jr., Grand Master of the Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Louisiana, and Sovereign Grand Commander of the United Supreme Council, 33rd degree, AASR, Southern Jurisdiction. A dear and close friend of mine, it was Dr. Lewis more than any other individual who motivated me to this love which I carry for Masonry. It is a love that I am proud of. Joseph A. Walks, Jr., Leavenworth, Kansas. As I stated, bruv, and as the book tells you, Walks is a Black man and he is a Freemason. Well, at least he was. I don't know if he's still alive. Let's see if this says anything. In 1903, let me get this on her so I don't have. In 1903, the McCoy Publishing and Masonic Supply Company published Grimshaw's official history of Freemasonry among the colored people in North America. Unfortunately, this work proved in ensuing years to be erroneous in many respects. Mr. Grimshaw, having embroidered many of his facts with wishful thinking, unfortunate too that many writers have continued to give credence to the Grimshaw book, which has caused misleading foundations of thought for their promulgated theses. Hello, bruvs. Welcome from Detroit. Well, not Detroit proper, but the outskirts. And so it is with no little feeling of gratitude that the same publishing firm has this opportunity, 78 years later, to publish another book authored by a Black Freemason, which we hope will serve to rectify past conceptions and beliefs. While some, both black and white, may not agree with all of Mr. Walks' presentation in this present work, it must be recognized that Mr. Walks has done his homework and has spent years of research before arriving at and presenting his views. He has referenced his works well and gives many verbatim writings, as well as reproductions of letters, papers, certificates, etc., to write his story from a Black Freemason's viewpoint. This is as it should be, and we agree with the author who states that it has been necessary that a Black man give us these facts, as no white author could approach the subject with the same feeling. That is not to say that there have not been white Freemasons who have espoused the Black Freemasons' cause. Certainly, early records and minutes were often lost or not recorded at all, and the legitimacy and the formation of lodges in many instances is clouded, both among the black and white Masonic lodges. Since the real purpose of Freemasonry is to make good men better, then certainly we should be done with nitpicking about the Prince Hall Masonic fraternity, who have contributed a great deal to the betterment and education of their people and this nation in their 2 centuries at work. Their continued striving for education has shown remarkable progress. Their youth movement with forward-looking programs for the future generations is enviable. Enviable, he says. It is with pleasure that we can offer this book. While we may not agree with all of Mr. Walk's conclusions or arguments, if we wish to approach the entire subject with an open mind, we will be the richer for reading how and why and what the Black Freemason thinks. And this is the beginning for a better understanding among all mankind, the publisher. And looking at this book before coming on here, I did notice this one section, chapter 6, which probably is some kind of effort to restrain Black people from joining the Freemasons, but I will hold those off until another time. And since I have to go to work soon, I'm going to stop here. There's some brothers. They're Freemasons. The brother man. So this is Leavenworth, Kansas. Apparently. Look at that. That's brilliant. Fraternally yours, Alexander Clark, Grand Master. All right, with that, I'm out. We out.